When you hear a show tune from the great white way, does a shiver run through ya? Well, we're giving them to ya. Sing hallelujah and shout hooray. Come on along and listen to Broadway to Main Street. USA.
Love, of course, is the answer.
And warming to our theme, we'll quote Cupid's right-hand man, the patron saint of romantic optimism, Stephen Sondheim. This is a song we've been meaning to do ever since March when the lunacy began.
But we were a little nervous about it because we weren't sure if it would come across as a little insensitive because it's about being contagious and being infectious.
It's not about a virus, it's about love. In fact, love is in the air. Quite clearly, people everywhere. Act queerly, summer, hasty summer, halting summer, simply somersaulting. Love is going around.
Anyone exposed can catch it, keep your window closed and latch it, leave your house and lose your reason. This is the contagious season. Love is going around. It's spreading each minute throughout the whole vicinity. Step out and you're in it with all the fun involved.
Who can stay uninvolved? Love is in the air. This morning, bachelors, beware. Fair warning.
If you search up feel a tingle and you like remaining single, stay home. Don't take a breath.
You could catch your death. Cause love is around.
Love is around.
Leave your house and lose your reason. This is the contagious season. Wives are at their husband's service.
Virgins distinctly nervous.
It's spreading each minute throughout the whole vicinity.
Step out and you're in it with all the fun involved
and everyone involved. Who can stay uninvolved? Love is in the air. This morning, bachelors, beware. Fair warning, my advice to you is gratis. If you want to keep your status, stay home. Don't take a breath. You could catch your death.
Cause
love
is all around, don't need to waste it.
Love can be a moment's madness.
Love is a bore. You know what I mean?
Love is a simple thing.
Love is the answer. Love is saving a country. Cause love is around.
And if love is in the air in such a melodious and harmonic way, it can only be those two great loves of the cabaret scene, Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano. Hello, this is Larry Maslon, your host for Broadway to Main Street here on WLIW-FM, Long Island's only signature individual, one-of-a-kind NPR station. And as we pivot into October, is the perfect month to recognize these two great cabaret talents. And I want to welcome them live and virtually in person to our show today. Welcome, Barbara and Eric.
Great to be with you, Larry, always.
Thank you, Larry. So great to be with you.
So I think this is Barbara's second time and Eric's third time live on the show. And we've just climbed out of the High Holy Days, so I'm stuck with a couple of Gentiles for Simchat Torah.
Oh, I love that lyric.
Yes,
we'll do the best we can.
We'll get to there.
My kugel is cooling.
Oh, very good. Well, you two are stellar members of the cabaret community, and I always come back to you either in person or I've played your stuff off and on for 10 years now. And before we get into the latest honorifics for you in the month of October, I always ask my interesting live performers, what are some of the songs that made them think, oh, this is something I might want to do for a living? And so I think, Eric, you teed up everybody's favorite fellow.
The humble king of Cafe Society, Bobby Short. Well, my parents courted in New York, and they went to see Bobby and Mabel Mercer in nightclubs. And then they whisked me out to the suburbs to grow up. But they had records by some of those great people, and Noel Coward of Las Vegas. And I guess the sheer energy of that Cole Porter record, I didn't know they were esoteric songs then. And I certainly didn't understand all the innuendos in Katie Went to Haiti and others. But I chose this early Cole Porter song because he, of course, mined all these extra choruses and built it fantastically. I mean, that's a great theatrical artist. And yeah, I didn't get it immediately that I'm doing this, but that's the way it worked out. And very grateful to him. And he and I had a mutual admiration, I would have to
Mutual
say.
Admiration Society, speaking of Cole Porter. Well, this number by Bobby Short puts the Eric in esoteric, and we'll listen to it and we'll hear Barbara's choice, and then we'll talk with Barbara.
You've got that thing, you've got that thing, the thing that makes birds forget to sing. Yes, you've got that thing, that certain thing. You've got that charm, that subtle charm, that makes young farmers desert the farm. You got that thing, that certain thing. You've got what Adam craved when he with love for Eve was tortured. She only had an apple tree, but you've got an orchard. You've got those ways, those taken ways, that make me rush off to Cartier's for a wedding ring. Yes, you've got that thing. You've got that thing, you've got that thing, the thing that makes vines prefer to cling. Yes, you've got that thing, that certain thing. You've got those looks, those fatal looks, that make book censors enjoy their books. 'Cause you've got that thing, that certain thing. Just what made Samson be for years Delilah's lord and keeper. She only had a pair of shears, but you've got a reaper. You've got that power, the power to grip, that makes me map out a wedding trip for the early spring. 'Cause you've got that thing. You got that thing, you got that thing, the thing that makes bees refuse to sting. You've got that thing, that certain thing. You've got that kiss, the kiss that warms, that makes reformers reform reforms. You've got that thing, yes, that certain thing. They tell us Trojan Helen's lips made every man her slavey. If her face launched 1,000 ships, well, yours could launch a navy. You got that love and such a lot, it makes me think you're prepared for what any stork might bring. 'Cause you got that thing, jada jing jing jing. Yes, you got what you got, you know you got that thing. Yes, 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 you got that thing.
Free and easy, that's my style. How do you do me? Watch me smile. But fare thee well me after a while. 'Cause I gotta roam any place I hang my hat is home. Sweetening water, cherry wine, thank you kindly, suits me fine. Kansas City, even Caroline, that's my honeycomb. 'Cause any place I hang my hat is home. Birds roosting in the tree, pick up and go, and the going cruise. That's how it ought to be. I pick up too when the spirit moves me. Cross the river, round the bend. Howdy, stranger, so long, friend. There's a voice in the lonesome wind, keeps a whispering roar. I'm going where a welcome mat is, no matter where that is. 'Cause any place I hang my hat is
The subtle and intimate chops of Barbra Streisand singing from one of my favorite scores of all time, St. Louis Woman, which we'll hear more from, and Barbara Fasano, a far more subtler but intricate artist. You picked Barbra Streisand's one of, I think this is from her second album, as one of your influential cuts.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for letting me speak and not sing after that particular track. She's, just astonishing. And those early albums for me, I had older sisters who were huge Streisand fans. And so they would play those records. And I honestly, I just was transfixed. I didn't know what was going on. There was just so much intensity. And I grew up in kind of a volatile Italian Catholic household. So
in Long Island,
that intensity. Yes.
Shout out to Long Island. Yes. Very good.
I come from your neck of the woods. Yes.
Great neck of the
South
woods.
Shore
Yes.
of Long Island. Exactly.
Or Little Neck.
So for me, it all felt very, very familiar, like to turn the sort of the passion and the volatility, but, take it and put it right into the music.
Wow. And you took her love for Arlen and you turned it into a wonderful album, which hits the bullseye. So let's hear another song, a song so good from St. Louis Woman that it was cut, and it's still better than most songs in most shows.
Lights are bright, pianos making music all the night, and they pour champagne just like it was rain. It's a sight to see. But I wonder what became of me. Crowds go by, that merry-making laughter in their eye, and the laughter's fine, Life's sweet as honey, and yet it's funny. I get a feeling that I can't analyze. It's like, well, maybe like when a baby sees a bubble burst before its eyes. Oh, I've had my thrills. They've lit my cigarettes with dollar bills. But I can't be gay for along the way something went astray, and I can't explain. It's the same champagne. It's a sight to see, but I wonder what became of me.
If I had my druthers, I'd rather have my druthers than anything else I know. While you'd rather hustle, accumulating muscle, I'd rather watch daisies grow. While they're growing, slowing, the summer breeze is blowing, my heart is overflowing, and so if I had my druthers, I'd rather have my druthers than anything else I know. I'd rather have my druthers than work anywheres at all. It ain't that I hates it, I often contemplates it while watching the raindrops fall. I sits there for hours, developing my powers, a-figuring how flowers gets tall. If I had my druthers, I'd rather have my druthers than anything else at all. Than anything else at all. That's all.
Well, that's not all. We're only a third of the way through our show today. Eric Comstock singing another Johnny Mercer song, actually. That shows you how much virtuosity he had as a lyricist. Gene DePaul music from Little Abner. So here's a question for both of you. I had Bill Charlap on the show maybe 2 years ago, and we played his fantastic rendition of I'm All Smiles. And I said, oh, gee, did you see The Yearling and its one performance on Broadway, where that song is from? And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. I only know that song from Nancy Wilson. So some of us show folk obviously know all these scores and all the cast albums and things, but I'm wondering, as cabaret artists, and the two of you put together such magnificent material in every show you do, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Just wondering, do you listen around? How do you get your repertoire?
Well, I was a record collector back when people bothered with records, and I met our mutual friend Will Friedwald at Tower Records on East 4th Street. So I collected the vocalists before I got into more heavy core, hardcore jazz artists. And so, and I've always been a maven, and I play the piano, so sheet music matters to me, so I have a big sheet music collection. So I just became a collector who eventually decided I can be a performer.
Well, this is a good moment to point out that you have October is your month, because you have a major honorific coming your way from the Mabel Mercer Foundation in this year's cabaret convention. Would you mind telling us, Barbara, what it is?
Well, we are just absolutely thrilled and so stunned. The Mabel Mercer Foundation, as you know, was something begun by Donald Smith, I don't know, maybe 35 years ago or so.
I think it was the year after she died, so it was about the mid-'80s.
Yeah, he had been her manager, and he started this foundation to kind of honor her and also continue the legacy of celebrating, the great American songbook, this music we love so much. And every year, the foundation puts on all kinds of events, lots of charity events and outreach programs, but they also have a wonderful celebration at Rose Hall every year. The last couple of years it's been virtual, and this year it's happening again with one live night at Rose Hall and then 2 nights that will be virtual. And Eric and I are going to be presented on the first night, which is virtual, with other artists from all over the world. And we are the recipient of the Donald Smith Award, which is an award that's given periodically, I suppose, to artists who, I don't know, no one has ever actually even said exactly what the award signifies.
Very good and enduring at what they do. And you listeners can go to Mabel Mercer, one word, .org, and you can find out all the details. MABEL Mercer.org. And the first night, the subtitle is what?
Love is Sweeping the Country, which, of course, we allude to in Love is in the Air.
And a good segue to discuss the Ira and Leonore Gershwin Philanthropic Fund, who support our work every week, because, of course, that's what he wrote. Well, Eric, you are one of the things I always enjoy about seeing you and Barbara in performance is you'll pull something out of that capacious handbag of yours, something even I've never heard of before. And,
not possible.
And this is a Larry Hart song.
This is a song from a 1926 production that only ran in the UK called Lido Lady, and had a healthy run for 1926. It was, I think, 250 or 60 performances, and yet didn't come over to this country. But I heard it on a broadcast that emanated from the UK, and I thought, how could this not have a record? So I'm proud to say it's the first commercial recording of this really beautiful, heartbreaking Larry Hart lyric and a gorgeous Rodgers melody.
What's the Use by Rodgers and Hart.
What's the use of hands if there's no one to hold? What's the use of hearts if they have to be cold? What's the use of having very good ears when nobody tells the story that cheers? There's no use in having feet, it appears, with none to run to. What's the use of lips if there's no one to kiss? What's the use of eyes if they never see bliss? When the April moon is shining above and spring begins to give the winter a shove, what's the use if there's no one to love? What's the use of having very good ears when nobody tells the story that cheers? There's no use in having feet, it appears, with none to run to. What's the use of lips if there's no one to kiss? What's the use of eyes if they never see bliss? When the April moon is shining above and spring begins to give the winter a shove, what's the use if there's no one to love?
Running through rains and the wind that follows after, for one certain face and an unforgotten laughter. I've been following trails, I've been staring after ships for a certain pair of eyes and a certain pair of lips. Yes, I've looked everywhere. You can look without wings, and I found a great variety of interesting things. But it never was you. It never was anywhere you. An occasional sunset reminded me, or a flower hanging high on a tulip tree, or one red star hung low in the west, or a heartbreak call from the meadowlark's nest made me think for a moment. Maybe it's true. I found him in the star, in the coal, in the blue. But it never was you. It never was anywhere you. Anywhere
That was Barbara Fasano from her most recent album, Busy Being Free. Another shout out to one of our supporters, the Kurt Weill Foundation. That's one of my favorite unsung, as it were, until now, and well, certainly now at any rate, songs from Knickerbocker Holiday. This is Larry Maslon, your host for Broadway to Main Street. And we're here today with Barbara Fasano and Eric Comstock. We talked about October being a signal month. If you want to see them in person, and I would highly hence, I would just cancel any Saturday plans you have for the month of October and go directly, do not stop, do not pass go, and go to where, folks?
Birdland on West 44th Street. And they have it all there. It's a vaccinated venue, so everything is done up to code and very safely. And we're currently appearing in the smaller room called Birdland Theater, which, as you know, Larry, is quite a beautiful, chic little room. And we're there at 5 on Saturday, so it's a great place to have the remainder of brunch or your sidecar, your first drink of the night, or supper. And if you're heading to the theater, we're a great first stop for that. And we do about an hour and 15 minutes of the best songs we can find for Broadway, Hollywood, pop and jazz, and the singer-songwriter era.
Yes, with our bassist Sean Smith, and we make it a party, and we're so thrilled to be there, and everybody has a great time. So yes, please come down and join us. Start your Saturday nights with us at Birdland.
The name of the game is Surprising Larry Maslon, which is rare.
We'll talk about that in a moment. But I went, I guess, in September, and it was just beautiful, and they've appointed it beautifully, and I felt very safe, and obviously thrilled to see the two of you live. There is an album which we talked, or a sort of weird album we talked about, Eric, when you came on the Mel Torme show, that Mel Torme and Margaret Whiting made a collection of shows about to open on Broadway in the 1960 season. And it's one of these things that, it's a kind of album that delights me, and I suspect you, because forget that they weren't hits yet. They weren't even introduced on the Broadway stage yet necessarily. And you picked a really stunning one, which always knocks me out, from Wildcat. Yes,
right. Isn't it nice that all 4 of those shows were hits? I'm sure albums have been made, we know that, by jazz musicians and pop singers. And they do a bunch of songs from a show that runs about as long as the yearling. Yes, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, there's a counter melody, the one you're going to play. I'm just doing Margaret's part, which is truly a stunning Cy Coleman, Carolyn Lee piece, which was cut from the show from Wildcat, but it's a beauty.
And you'll see once more the house, that welcome door, and all the things you've journeyed back to find. But through all the spell of dear things everywhere, if no one's there to tell you not to roam, then you might as well be lost, a star away, for you're still far away from home. But through all the spell of dear things everywhere, if no one's there to tell you not to roam, then you might as well be lost, a star away for you're still far away from
Eric Comstock at his lyrical best. So we're going to wrap up with a few selections from the 1960s, which for me was the golden age of shows. They were also interesting and inventive. And you're going to sing two songs from Golden Boy, which listeners know is one of my top favorite shows. And even though the circumstances of singing, was this in the Rose Room?
Now the Appel Room. It was then the Allen Room at Jazz at Lincoln Center.
The Allen Room at Jazz at Lincoln Center. And you take these two great numbers from that Strauss-Adams score, and you very much make it your own out of context. So I'm wondering, is that the cabaret artist's stock and trade or gift, that they can take something that had very specific, determinate, original Broadway characters and situations and filter it through yourselves, and tell us how that works for you two?
Yeah, I think that's beautifully put. I think that's, I don't know that you would have to even categorize it as a cabaret quality. I think any singer wants to make a song his or her own, you know? And so when you find these Broadway tunes and then you want to pare them down and make them more of an intimate experience and more of a storytelling outside of the narrative of the libretto, then it's got to come from what makes it truthful for you, and then that colors it in a whole other way.
Great. Beautifully put. All right. Two fantastic songs from Golden Boy.
I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you. After all the nights of wanting you, lying there, loving you, hating you, tonight I'm touching you, tasting you. World, you're gonna see. We'll make out somehow. Here's my girl and me. You can't hurt us now. We're gonna have it all. I love you every day. Lorna, life can be so great for us. Here's our chance. It's not too late for us. Grab it fast, for life won't wait for us. I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you.
Lorna's here, and she's gonna stay. Lorna's here, and baby, she won't go away. All that talk of leaving was only talk. I'm much too dumb to take that walk. Try to lose me, honey. Just try. Lorna's here forever. you big ugly guy. It's so sad, it's funny. I need you the way you need me. I don't always show it, but I'm yours, you know it. Lorna's here where Lorna should be. Try to lose me, honey, just try. Lorna's here forever, you big ugly guy. Mama's here to hold you, so like it or not, you got me. Maybe I can't do much, but when the things get too much, Lorna's here where Lorna should be. I wanna be with you. Lorna's here where Lorna should be.
And the crowd at Jazz at Lincoln Center goes wild. Well, we've had we're getting into the home stretch here in our slightly, unfortunately, less than an hour with Barbara Fasano and Eric Comstock. I had to pick the two songs of your very remarkable repertoire that tickled me the most, and I also felt represented what made you individually and simultaneously incredibly unique. And we're going to start with a reinvention, to my mind, of a song that I never thought twice about, from Hello, Dolly, until Barbara sang it.
I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer, blue and green and streaming in the yellow sky. So if someone special comes my way this summer, he might notice me passing by, and so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow up behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye, and he might smile and take me by the hand this summer, making me recall how lovely love can be. I will proudly
from pillar to post, being chased through New York by some ghost. If not soaked to the skin, we have surely been in drafts a lot. We have kissed with both passion and frenzy on the ramps of Grand Central and Pennsy, under rocks, under trees, and at intimacies in Schrafft's a lot. In the music hall's very last rows, we have put on some interesting shows. We have often been cause for wild applause and laughs a lot. Through the park in a hansom against the wind, we have sped. We have certainly circled that course a lot. People tell me I smell like a horse a lot. It's been pillar to post, but never to bed. In the back of St. Pat's and St. Luke's, all those looks of disdain and rebukes, as if you were some tart and I was Jack the Ripper. And at Temple Emmanuel, I am certain that rabbi could tell he was stuck with a couple of Gentiles for Yom Kippur. For a modern Don Juan or Sir Lancelot, I don't seem to get out of my pants a lot. It's been pillar to post, but never to bed. It's been pillar to post, but never to bed.
And that, as you all know, is from the score to Henry Sweet Henry by Bob Merrill. And Eric, for me, this is, I never get tired of hearing it, mostly because I slipped into Pangea one night for the first time ever to see you perform live. And I think this might have been your second or third song in your set. And I was screaming so loudly with hysterical laughter that I think you turned to the house and said, who did they let in? What's going on here? So I was
Barbara Fasano screams for other reasons when she hears it. It's not her favorite in the repertoire.
Well, I liked it, as my grandmother would have said. Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano, you're entering a tremendous month, October, Saturday nights at Birdland at 5, and this wonderful honor on the 25th at the 2021 Cabaret Convention. So thank you for stopping by our virtual airwaves today.
A joy always.
Thank you so much, Larry.
Well, there's only one song we can play out. It happens to be one of my favorite songs of all time anyway. I think I mistakenly said that Johnny Mercer had written the lyrics, but it's Leslie Brickus, isn't it? Because I got so many cards and letters about that mistake. Like none at all, but I did make the mistake, so I want to correct it officially. Here is a wonderful Mancini tune, and I think for all of us who love this kind of art form, you will always be fellow travelers along the road. So thank you for joining us.
Oh, our pleasure.
If you're feeling fancy free, come wander through the world with me. And any place we chance to be will be our rendezvous. Two for the road, we'll travel down the years, collecting precious memories, selecting souvenirs, and living life the way we please.
In summertime, the sun will shine. In winter, we'll drink summer wine. And every day that you are mine will be a lovely day, as selecting precious memories, selecting souvenirs and living life the way we please.
In summertime the sun will shine. In winter we'll drink summer wine. And every day that you are mine will be a lovely day, as long as love still wears a smile. I know that we'll be two for the road, and that's a long, long while.
Well, where is the time all gone to? This is Larry Maslon here at Broadway to Main Street. Let's catch up next Sunday at 3.